Hey, I'm Jake from Doubt Kills. I just wanted to go over my experience of shooting a music video underwater using one of these, a DiCAPac WP-S10, which is basically a waterproof bag. We did look into hiring more expensive options. As soon as you get to hard shell options, the prices go up. You know, you're looking at sometimes 500 plus, maybe even up to 1,000. One of these is only about £80. Obviously, when you're in a band, keeping things low budget is really important. So let's go over the features of this properly. It's an affordable soft shell case, which is supposed to house DSLRs or any kind of camera that might fit in here. Obviously, in terms of this, the bag is quite big compared to the camera. We used Sony A7S. We actually used the Mark I. And as you can see, it fits in there pretty easily. The way in which it works is you put the camera in here. It's then got a seal which you kind of click in place. You then fold it over, roll it over like that. Believe it or not, there's Velcro at the top. It does come with a strap which you can put round. We found it wasn't necessary. And then you also have this screw lid which you can take off, which I don't know about you, but I didn't really want to do that because maybe psychologically it felt like it came pre-sealed. Obviously, make sure it's done up tight. And you do have these little finger holes here which are supposed to help you focus, but it's pretty difficult. It does also have a finger hole here for you to turn on and off, which was useful, especially with the A7Ss. The batteries aren't great, so you're always having to turn them on and off to save battery. You have a clear back for you to see, obviously, the back of your camera. Now, one of the main things you will kind of battle with is it's kind of a one size fits all. It's a bit loose in terms of you kind of have to hold the camera in place when you're filming, kind of squish it together. The other thing which we didn't realize was this basically just wants to float. So you have to actually use pressure to pull it down and kind of angle it where you need to film. And it can get tiring on the shoulders, the arms. When you're doing hours upon hours like we did, it is something to consider. The length of this is pretty good. We're not professional filmmakers, so you know, we do have lenses kind of this long. We actually used a 50mm or a 28mm with the shots that we did. With our video itself, in the end, we kind of used a mix of half above the water and half below the water, and then some shots that were completely submerged. The other thing we found is, one, we filmed in a cold pool. It wasn't the plan. I'd highly recommend not doing that if you can. Not only did it make the shoot hard, just in terms of obviously being cold, it also meant that the camera steamed up, which then affects obviously what you can see. Imagine if you're more technical, that might be more frustrating. The main thing we found is once you were filming, you didn't have much room for changing any of your settings. You kind of had to preempt what was going on, which made it a bit tricky. It makes it doable, and for such an affordable bit of gear, maybe that's expected. I found it was better just to get like a visual representation very quickly. As soon as you go in, you're kind of just going off what you've seen straight away before it steams up, before things are kind of moving around and you can't quite see what you're doing, which means seeing your screen is nearly impossible and something you just have to accept. If that makes you feel uncomfortable, then maybe you need a better solution, one that's more expensive. If you're going for something chaotic, it can kind of work in your favor, which is kind of what we were going for. If you're going for something that's kind of more elegantly lit and gentle, you may have to look at other methods, but it worked for us. So we shoot everything ourselves, so it was a case of us shooting each other. If you're not a good swimmer, it might be difficult. And not only that, is you're holding your breath underwater. There's things like that to think about. If you can shoot in the shallow end, obviously you can stand and you can kind of just submerge the camera. It depends what you're going for. We chose to shoot at night because it meant that we can do more with lighting. If you want kind of that deep water effect and you're shooting in the day, you're going to need a massive pool or going to have to be in the actual ocean. We weren't going for anything specific like that, but we just found that shooting at night meant that the camera picked up less around it and more focused on us as individuals. We also used a spotlight which helped focus the light on us and then make the rest of the water more dark. I'll put a link in the description with the spotlight we used. I can't remember what it's called right now. Despite all that, we couldn't have been happier with how the video actually came out. It wasn't exactly what we were planning, but we find that the idea of what you want to create is sometimes over ambitious. I think when we first had this idea with the song, we were talking about performing completely submerged, which would have been cool, but realistically it was virtually impossible. So it's only when you're looking back through the camera and you're seeing the cool shots, it inspires you. It kind of reveals what the video should be. One thing that we've learned when it comes to doing videos yourself is try and give yourself a test day and then a shooting day. We're guilty at this. We don't do this full time, so sometimes we're over ambitious with our time. We did film this all in one night. It was a long shoot, but we had to wait for it to get dark. So what's the main thing you want to know? Does this keep your camera dry? Now, it absolutely does. So that's a massive tick in the box for this. It is quite scary when you first put your camera in here, you do up the zip lock, you roll it over and you secure the Velcro. It's kind of a bit daunting, but if you're willing to give it a go and you aren't too precious about your gear, then this is an absolutely great solution. The great thing about this is, you know, it is kind of just put it in the bag, put it in the water. You do have to obviously make sure that you've completely sealed it tight. Try and get the air out of it. But yeah, if you're looking for an option to shoot underwater, whether you're in the sea, whether you're in a swimming pool, it's a great option. It didn't leak at all. It does exactly what you need. Now, maybe if I had a new A7S, which are more expensive, or I was hiring a camera, I might be a bit more skeptical. Obviously, you could test it out on any camera, or it doesn't even have to be a camera, to see if it gets wet. It's portable and lightweight. You know, you can get that in a pretty small bag, which is also a big plus. And when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, we spent £8 on this. Our camera we've had for a while, it's a Mark 1, and for an extremely low budget video, I think we pulled off something great. So if you don't mind a bit of trial and error, this is a great option for you. If you're looking for a bit more precision, then maybe this isn't the best option and you might have to look at some more expensive alternatives. If you're a band like us looking for a solution to shooting underwater, similarly to our music video for Implode, then this is the perfect option, and it worked great. At the end of the day, the camera survived. The camera did not get wet, it didn't leak, and it was really simple to use. Yes, it has its flaws, but that was to be expected with the price tag and the affordable option. Have you used one of these before? Would you trust it with your own camera? Let us know in the comments. So I hope this video has helped anyone who's thinking about recording an underwater music video. Hopefully I've pointed out a few different things to think about that you can take into your own music video shoot. Without the DiCAPac WP-S10, we wouldn't have been able to create this music video. This music video was an ambitious idea, especially for people who aren't professional filmmakers. We just wanted to create something cool and have a bit of fun. So if you're looking to do the same, I highly recommend the DiCAPac WP-S10 as an option. Thank you for watching this video. I'm Jake from Doubt Kills. See you in the next one. If you like what you've just watched, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Doubt Kills YouTube channel.
For more music videos, comedy skits, how-tos and behind the scenes videos.
I guess we'll see you in the next one.
Jesus, Jake, finally.